Hello, everyone, and good afternoon. Welcome back to another episode of, well, basically whatever we want to discuss on a monthly basis. This month is about body composition. So, last week we did a little bit of introduction to body composition, and today's topic, if you haven't seen, is how can I achieve and maintain a healthy body composition? So last week, obviously, I went through what a body composition is. So we're going to recap on that. For you guys who are new here, my name's Sam. I'm the sports and pain performance here, specialist here. And today is actually about how we can improve our body composition. Okay, so last week, let's just do a little bit of a recap. We looked at what makes up body composition, what is it? And we discussed that to make up the body composition, it's a few things. So it's bone density, so bone, body weight, muscle, fat, and water. Okay, so basically we're looking at everything that when you step on a scale that you look at, it's not really telling you the answer that you need because it's just showing a number, showing how much you weigh in total, but it's not actually exploring how much of a certain composition you are. So how much is your bone weight, how much is your water weight, how much is your fat weight, how much is your visceral fat. Okay, it doesn't give you those answers, and that's when we discussed a bit more about using special scales, bioimpedance scales, to actually measure that and find out the true readings. So not only can it help you find out the truth about your body and your body weight, but also how to improve it and where you need to improve. So today is how can you achieve that and maintain a healthy body composition. Now, there's two real points to this, and that is it. And the first one is simple. You probably guessed it, is exercise. Okay, because from my point of view and from evidence that I look at every week, you'll find that resistance training, weight training is so important. So important. I can't stress enough how important it is. Okay? And the reason it's so important is really simple, actually. It's because the stronger we get, the more robust we are, okay? And the better our bodies will work, all right? Because people always think, oh, I'm going to do resistance training, so I'm just going to get big, or it's going to make my joints hurt. And to be honest, it's a complete myth. If anything, it will actually help your joints, okay? It will actually prevent pain in the future and make you stronger, but also look better, and ultimately make you more robust so that things don't break you down and you can probably live a happier, healthier life the older you get, okay? So exercise is key to a good body composition, but not just strength training, because obviously we're looking at muscle mass here, because you want to have a good amount of muscle mass, okay? And you want to have a good distribution of muscle mass as well, unless, disclaimer, unless you obviously are doing a sport that relates to, one-sided. So, for example, we used tennis players last week. So tennis players are obviously going to have a stronger side, and which is absolutely fine because, they're elite athletes. But for the everyday person, you want a good balance of muscle mass evenly spread around the body. So that's why exercise is so important, because we want to obviously develop muscle, be strong, be robust, and that comes under part of our body composition. However, we don't want to just be strong. We also want to be fit and healthy, right? We want to be able to do things and be fit and not run out of breath just walking up the stairs, okay? And this is where the cardio part comes in, because don't get me wrong, it's great to look big and great to have muscle, but it's also really important to look after your heart and your cardiovascular system, okay? Because ultimately, life throws so many things at you, especially if you go for long walks. You might be a runner, you might be a cyclist, and what you will need is endurance. You will need a healthy heart. You will need you will need an efficient way of using oxygen in your body, and this is where cardio comes in. Okay, so we looked at strength, looked at cardio, looking at cardio now, and it's just really important, because cardio will also help you maintain a good fat percentage, okay? It will also help you maintain a good visceral fat percentage as well, okay? And that's why cardio is so important, because by doing long walks, up hills, cycling. You'll be burning a lot of that fat and get rid of it, including visceral fat. So visceral fat, if you remember, is the fat around your organs. And if you have high visceral fat, then your chances of complications are higher, such as heart attack, stroke, etc. So you really want to have a low amount of visceral fat. So that's how endurance-based, cardio-based exercise will definitely help with that in terms of reducing the amount of fat in your body. However, it is important to remember that sprinting and doing high explosive movements won't help you burn fat. You've got to be in the right heart zone to be burning fat. Otherwise, your body's just going to take sugar. Okay, just take quick energy storage, and it's not going to burn that fat. So just keep that in mind. But ultimately, exercise super important because we want to be strong. We want our body composition to be good, our muscles to be developed and spread widely, evenly around our body, but also want to have minimal fat and very, very minimal visceral fat. Okay, very minimal visceral fat, because remember, that's the fat around the organs. That's not going to be good at all. All right, in terms of fat percentage of the body, you don't really want to be hitting anything. You could probably say over 20-25%. Anything under that is pretty normal, and then anything under about 5% is probably actually on the other end of dangerous. So in between 5 and 20%, maybe a bit higher actually, I'd probably maybe say 7-8% to 20% body fat is probably normal and good, and you'll function quite fine with that. Okay, but everybody's different. Some people are put on fat very easily. Some people burn it very easily. It is also dependent on you as an individual and how your body actually responds to certain stimulus such as exercise and diet. And talking about diet, that brings us on to our next point of maintaining a healthy body composition, diet. Because yet again, it comes down to visceral fat and body fat. If you want to keep that low, a great way to do that is don't eat rubbish. Okay, simple. It's okay to treat yourself now and then, but don't make a habit of eating rubbish, because that will definitely increase your visceral fat. That is how visceral fat is increased, by eating rubbish. All right, and just the fat in general, if you have a high fat diet, it's not always going to be a good thing, to be honest, because you will put on fat and then that'll put pressure on your arteries, your organs, and just cause complications. Okay, so that's why diet is really important, especially a low fat diet. But don't get me wrong, fat is also really important. You don't want to cut out fat completely, otherwise you might have start having gallbladder issues as well. Okay, so you need to find a balance. That's the key here. That's a big word. A balanced diet. Okay, so also with diet, if you do want to put on muscle and look good and have a healthy body, you need to find the right amount of protein. All right, so to maintain, you want at least a gram of protein per kilogram of body weight. If you want to start putting on muscle, 1.5 to 2 times your body weight of protein. On top of that, you will also need to eat vegetables, get your fiber in, and get you the right vitamins and minerals in, because you don't want to be deficient in something, because that may cause some symptoms like fatigue, maybe skin issues, headaches, mood changes. Food plays a massive part on our health, physical and mental health, so it's really important. And when we're relating it to body composition, it is also just as important, because our body is basically, whatever we put into it is kind of reflecting on what we see. So a healthy diet is usually a healthy body and also a healthy mind. So I would say personally, from someone who goes to gym a lot, I like to work out, I like to do a lot of exercise, I box, kickbox. For me personally, diet is the biggest factor for anything. If you want to grow, if you want to shrink, if you want to be healthier, it's all about your diet. I would argue that it's actually more important than the exercise itself. But don't get me wrong, the exercise is key, really important that you do it. But if you're exercising and have a rubbish diet, then I would, there's almost no point to it. Okay, so definitely a good balance between exercise and diet. But please don't underestimate how important diet is, because it is really, really important. So that's how you can achieve healthy body composition. Look after your diet and exercise the right way. But everything has to be for you. It has to be particular for you, because everybody's different. Some people might train differently, and it might affect their body differently. So for example, I know a lot of people, they like to do a lot of reps to build strength and muscle, but for me that doesn't necessarily work. I have to actually lift heavy to go further. So I'm a bit different. Some people are a bit different to me, and that's absolutely fine. And it's going to be the same with you guys, but it's about finding out what works for you and how you maintain your health. But I would definitely say diet is key. You don't want a rubbish diet, because it will affect your body negatively in lots of ways, not just the way you look. Okay. And in terms of exercise, you want to have a high muscle percentage. You want to be quite muscular in terms of your percentage. You might not look it, all right, but at least you have that muscle there and you have that strength there, so you're robust. And if anything gets thrown at you, you can be there to support yourself. All right, and that's why exercise is so important. Resistance training is so important, but also your cardio-based stuff is really important as well, because that's how you keep a healthy cardiovascular system and a low fat percentage. Okay, so I hope that has helped with everything, and I hope that you understand now a bit more about body composition and what you need to actually be healthier, have a better body composition. Because if I'm honest, it's easy. It really is easy, but some people just can't see it that way, and they just need their eyes opening a little bit to see. And actually, a body composition test is a good way, because we find that actually it shocks a lot of people. They got on them scales thinking they're actually quite healthy, and then they get these results back, and they're like, actually, it's not too good. In which case they need to change either their diets or they need to exercise more. Yes, it can be very helpful for people, and it can be very eye-opening as well. So I just want to say a big thank you for all of you guys listening today. I hope you found this helpful. I will see you next week for the next topic regarding body composition. If you have any questions, let me know, pop them in the comments, and I'll be happy to answer them. So thank you all again. Take care. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.